All right, let's do this. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to another edition of the Uper Farmer Cigar Deck Talks. We have with us a very special guest.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, you gotta say stuff.
Hi, I said hello.
You said hello finally. Anyway, yes, Homeschooling Mama does not have any grading tonight to do. She's free and clear, so she wanted to reluctantly come on and join me.
I wanted to reluctantly.
Yes,
Okay.
that's what I said.
That's kind of a little oxymoronic sounding, but all right.
So anyway, what are we smoking? What are we drinking? What are you drinking? We'll go through the simple one first.
Oh, I've got this fancy, beautiful glass of ice water.
Ice waters. I have kind of actually a fancy cigar. Let's see, will that focus? Focus.
It's hard with the sun right there.
Yeah, there it goes. The Wayfarer. Kind of a fun little cigar. Pretty good. I accidentally cracked the cap a little bit. I do have some cigar glue. If it gets too bad, I'll have to go glue it. But
I did not know that was a thing.
it's a thing. And to go with a fancier cigar, you of course have to have the Sisu Start from Upper Hand Brewery. Should be great, delicious, nice, dark, deep stout. What?
You said Sisu Start, right? Or is it
Sisu Stout.
I heard you wrong.
You can get something started too. So, what's the main thing we're going to talk about, Homeschool Mommy?
I don't know. What are we talking about?
Well, I told you the one I was going to start with.
You told me aliens.
Yes. Here's the stout there. Beautiful. Creamy. Thick. More better than usual. It's weird. So anyway, real quick, we'll share the story that I forgot to share earlier. So last week, the video was about the Senate hearings on aliens. I gave my opinions on that, talked about it a little bit, discussed it, all that jazz. Well, I forgot to share a fun story I actually have from someone to someone's who actually had alien encounters, or at least spotted UFOs. So I'll share that, and then we'll get on the main topic, which Homeschool Mama says she wants to talk about the starting of the school year. As Homeschooling Mama is going to get back to work. That's probably how it broke its leg.
Right?
We got some dive bombing turkeys today.
They're all up and moving, though.
Mm-hmm. One of our turkeys may have busted a leg.
He's limping, though. She's limping.
It's a he. So anyway, story goes, I was at a conference, and they were landing a medevac helicopter. And the guy who runs the company for the medevac team was talking these two pilots up. They're, helicopter pilots. One had been in, I think, Vietnam. One was did Operation Desert Storm, and so they're very certified, qualified pilots. And it was a Q&A session time, and no one was really asking any questions. And the guy who runs the company knows me and kind of asked if I could just throw out a couple of, have some questions ready, like simple, dumb, silly. He didn't care. Well, of course, I picked dumb and silly, combined the two. So I asked both these pilots if they'd ever seen a UFO while flying a helicopter. And they both basically just laughed, snarked, kind of blew off the comment, and pointed at Uper Farmer. It's like, oh yeah, that's Uper Farmer. There he goes, having his fun again, ha ha ha, and left it at that. Didn't really think much about it. It got more people to ask other more pertinent questions. You get the first stupid question out of the way, and everyone just starts chiming in. Well, throughout the course of this conference, both pilots find me individually, corner me, and explain that yes, they have had multiple UFO sightings, some during war, some during peacetime, and some were just last month. So they explain their sightings. They explain, that why they weren't bringing it up in front of a large group of people, which I got and I understood, quite taboo. So, yeah, that was fun and unique. So met two gentlemen, very highly respected military types who also now do, or did, air rescue and air evac for civilians. So there's my story. So now it's your turn.
My turn.
Started, yeah, you're homeschooling mama, and you wanted to talk about homeschooling.
No,
so.
you asked me for topic suggestions, and I said the start of the school year. that was my suggestion.
Well, take it away, Homeschooling Mama. What do we got planned for this?
Well, we really don't know. So, because we really hadn't been planning on anything specific, we had so much going on this summer that we really didn't schedule anything. Plus, I interviewed a couple of times, so we really weren't. If I took a specific job teaching, the kids were going to go to a private school, and we wouldn't be homeschooling this year. So we kind of just made that decision the last little bit, which has been interesting. But we did pick a core for Rosalind and Belle.
Explain cores. Maybe the 5 people who watch this haven't talked to you yet.
I'm pretty sure I've explained them on here before, but
You know, sometimes it's
cores,
nice to have a little
cores being
reading.
the sunlight main, like history, Bible, literature, spine of your entire curriculum.
So they kind of do that more like grades.
Yeah, instead of grades. Usually it's a range. I suppose that's a better way of saying it. Because like what would be kind of most people would consider like kindergarten is actually more like core A or something. It would be like kindergarten through 2nd grade. Because most of their cores cover like 3 grades.
Okay.
So.
And what was the request this year from Fairy Dancer?
So Fairy Dancer is, the last couple years we did, so they started, well, I don't want to say they started early, but they're smart and they're good workers. So we got through Core A, which was kindergarten, Core B, which was 1st grade, and Core C, which was 3rd grade. And they weren't ready to move on, so we did B and C combined. So basically we kind of did the 2nd and 3rd grade in a condensed version. A second time is 4th grade. So for 5th grade we did Core D, which is actually where we started, right? Our 2 oldest started with Core D. That was the first time we had ever used sunlight. And I was excited to go back to Core D.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of fun. It teaches, Core D is focused on American history, but you learn a lot about like the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, you know, that sort of thing. And then Core E, we did the next year. And Core E kind of focuses on American history, but the American history part of World War I and II. So Fairy Dancer, long story short, very, very strongly suggested that we not do a core that focuses on one of the world wars, or any war, which is almost going to be impossible because it doesn't matter where you're at in the world.
Right? History is wrought with war.
Yeah, and World War hit almost the entire world. So I don't think that's sinking in. But anyway, usually we jump to G, but we can't, like, that's going back to world history and wars again. So we decided to switch it up, and we're doing F, which it's Eastern Hemisphere, I think. And I've never done before, so I really can't say much about it. Like, I don't know much about it. It's Asia, China, that sort of thing. So it's focused on that part of the world, which will be interesting change.
Yeah.
But, so that's what we're doing with Rosalind.
Dig
Sorry,
again.
Wild and Free Wolf.
I'm going to
and
have to get a
Fairy
little placard
Dancer.
for you.
You do really have to get me a placard.
We're going to
with your
pause for 1
names.
second. Sorry about that. We're back. I get to use my last Father's Day gift. It's cigar glue. The crack I put in my cigar, I thought I'd be fine smoking around it, but it's causing me to have to fight it. So I'm gonna use my last Father's Day gift. I've yet to use this.
And you get to suck on glue now, or what do you do? Like wait so long? and
Just
let
wait
it
a second or
dry?
two. It dries really quick.
Okay.
So yeah, it's the same type of glue they use to make the cigar.
Oh,
Yeah, we got room.
I was just making sure it wasn't like.
So, but yes, it's the same type of glue they actually use to make the cigar. So
Oh.
I wanted to try it. See, he's got my little.
So now, is that glue for making your own cigar?
Hypothetically, it's got. Can I get that in the camera? Come on. Yeah, let's
It's
put it.
pretty blurry.
Oh, it's gonna blur out. You can't see the crack. Sorry, folks. Hypothetically, yes, you could use this to make your own cigar. So yeah,
All right.
we're gonna try it. I've never tried it. Yeah, it dries real quick.
Not quick enough to stop you from having to relight, though.
No, that has to be light. We're gonna take a little bit off the top here, though. Boom.
You sure that's not going to re-crack it?
Maybe. It's possible. Good to go. Oh yeah, that was a good choice. Good choice. Cigar's much more. That crack was really causing a weird draw. So smoke was going all wibbly wobbly,
Okay.
and it was falling over. My weebles were wobbling. So anyway, you're doing Core F, the Eastern Wars.
Eastern Hemisphere, so Asia. And it came in today. We bought a used core, so we saved like $450 on the core, which is nice. But I do not recommend. Let me put this little disclaimer in there. If you've never used sunlight before, I do not recommend buying a used core. Okay, because you might not know what you're actually looking for, and you might not know, like, if it's missing a piece.
Do you want to switch?
Maybe switch.
All right, hold on. The smoke's going right towards Homeschooling Mommy. We're gonna switch it up here. Should have done this sooner.
Well, it wasn't blowing that way sooner.
You know, it's just gonna shift.
I know.
All right,
I was just ignoring it.
you're in control of the camera now, so.
That's a bad thing.
All right, so don't buy used cores. You don't know what you're getting.
Well, you can buy used cores, and actually it saves hundreds and, over time, thousands of dollars. But until you've used sunlight at least once, don't buy a used core unless the person that you know is selling is giving you absolutely everything. Because otherwise it is very confusing if you're missing one piece, especially of the instructor guide. So that would be my little disclaimer there. I buy used cores only because I really already know what to expect. I think we've used sunlight for almost 10 years.
Something close to that.
So,
You think they'd give us a core for free?
no, but all the kids qualify for their scholarship for $5,000.
There you have it. That's good because we paid tens of thousands of dollars to them, so that makes sense.
So, anyway, their Eastern Hemisphere, it looks a bit different than most of their other cores, so I'm kind of curious how it's going to go, kind of excited. And then Swedish Compass and Vashman are doing, I think it's 320 now, which is essentially senior year, like 12th grade. And they're reading books like The Great Gatsby, Mere Christianity, and Brave New World is in that core. I don't know if I'm going to have them read it.
Good. They have to read that one.
I've actually never read that one, so I kind of have
Book.
this
It's fine.
like...
You're just fine. I've read the Cliff Notes.
Yeah, of course you have. Probably specific scenes, too.
They dumb those down. You want to read legit. Get the audio book for those scenes.
Anyway, so I haven't read that one. Actually, I haven't read several of the books in this core, so what I may do is kind of preview those books before.
I mean, if you want to read, socking Stalin in the job? Punching Stalin in the nose?
Punching Stalin in the nose, or hitting Stalin in the
hitting
nose.
Stalin in the nose. That one,
That's for the Eastern Hemisphere core.
I understand that, but it's
That one sounds fun.
I've bought many books by their covers, so
That is definitely one we'd probably buy by its cover. Looking at the text style and font and just flipping through it, it looks like it's probably 3rd to 4th grade, 3rd to 5th grade.
So right at my level. Cool.
No, but probably one that Fairy Dancer will really appreciate. She was a bit disappointed that there's 2 new missionary stories in this core. And if you're not familiar with missionary stories, the particular missionary stories that seem to be prevalent in Sunlight, and actually a lot of Christian cores, are really depressing.
Yep. You don't come out of those alive.
Yeah, Adoniram Judson, must have had 13 kids, and probably 8 of them died. And he lost 2 wives just because he wanted to stay in Burma, they died. And it's pretty horrific, the things that the missionaries, especially of the 1800s and early 1900s, went through. Pretty horrible. And so the missionary stories are kind of depressing to read. So Fairy Dancer's not excited.
Not excited.
About those 2.
Now, both Vashman and Swedish Compass have told me they want to take the college entrance exam this year.
Yep.
So, pressure is on, Homeschooling Mama.
Not really for me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of, they need to like study and take it themselves. Like, there's nothing for me to do for that. Like, they really, like, that pressure is all on them. Swedish Compass is still working on her doula.
Well, Swedish Compass is taking the take it to see it atmosphere some people do. Like, I don't even want to pass it the first time. I want to take it
And see what it's like.
see what it's like, get to know it,
Which
get
is
to
fine. That's
appreciate
actually
it.
what they did with their first couple assessments, was take it
Yep.
and see what it's like.
See what it's like.
And we
so.
kind of took that approach to their first couple assessments. Like, we're like, do your best, but we understand that this is going to be different. This isn't going to be something you're used to.
This is going to be tricky.
But the CAT test should actually be fairly similar.
I highly doubt it.
The structure and format of the question should actually be pretty similar. It is a very standardized test.
I mean, based on the CAT test, Swedish Compass should be in college this year.
Yeah.
Vashman's got a couple little areas of intrigue or interest that he should address.
Some areas he needs to address, but actually not some areas. Like, most of them are not far behind where he should be.
Yeah, I'm not saying like.
Once he realized that he was better take the test seriously.
Yeah.
So, and then of course, the two youngest are gonna be probably moving on to the Core A. We did Core K, which was my first time last year doing Core K. I'm doing a lot of new cores that I never got to do before. So this year it'll be Core A, which I've done before now. This will be the second time. So we'll see how it goes. Fortunately, I'm doing 3 cores, but we're not doing 3 cores. Because Vashman and Swedish Compass, like, they kind of have to check in and make sure they're still doing their work, but
they are deep in the autodidactic range now.
yeah, there's not nearly as many read alouds, and they have requested that I do some readers with them or read aloud with them for some of the books. Last year, I guess, going from me reading aloud to not reading aloud was a bit sudden for them, and it was hard. But history of the Christian Church, I think, is challenging.
It's
anyway.
challenge. That's tricky. That's tricky.
It's a challenging topic, and that's what they studied last year.
So do we have any fun things planned for our school year?
I bought cinnamon rolls for the first day.
You bought cinnamon rolls?
Yeah, the frozen ones.
Oh,
that you
very
had
good. Yeah, that's
with cream cheese frosting.
high quality work right there. That's,
Well, that's actually kind of a treat.
okay.
I don't usually do that.
I got you.
So, definitely want to start working in some field trips.
Yep.
We have an adventure planned, but I think what's going to happen is we're going to do 2 weeks of school and then do our adventure.
So they want to kick off next week, huh? On Monday.
But I think we're going to kick off with the online stuff. We're talking about doing a time for learning. So it's 2-week free trial. I figured we might as well try it for 2 weeks, see if it's actually going to work, and then when we come back, we can buy the subscription, and if it works for those first 2 weeks.
Okay. Sounds like fun.
I still have curriculum to buy, because we were kind of like, what are we going to do? Do we wait? Do we buy it? Do we...
I prefer just stick with what we have. I mean, that's just.
Yes.
So. Well, good. Are we planning on? You talked to the kids at all about another big adventure like we did last year?
During spring break?
Or,
no. I haven't talked to them about that. That is something that we should probably consider, although I don't think we'd want to do it around spring break in early March.
No.
But
just avoid that time frame in general.
like maybe late April.
Right.
Before, when everybody's still in public school, but before school gets out. Like right before school gets out. Or in like December, January. I mean, December's tough because a lot of places up there, they get more
The rates
expensive and stuff around Christmas.
Well, we definitely don't want to do it around Christmas, because that's when people be on Christmas breaks.
Yeah, so I don't know when we'd want to do it. Right now, our co-op is on break from mid-November until January,
Ooh.
beginning of January. So I think that's probably when we'd want to do it, somewhere in that
Somewhere in that
gap,
time frame.
so that they're not missing co-op either.
Now, our last spring break trip was mostly, well, it was all fun.
It was fun.
Now, do we try to do an educational spring break trip?
I think that's going to
Experiential.
depend on where we go.
Well, that's when we have.
I mean, okay, it's insane. I've never been, and I really want to go to Mount Rushmore. Okay, and it sounds awful.
It is awful.
As a Native American, I really want to see those heads carved into the stone.
Okay.
And I know that there's like this huge Native American push to like reclaim the Black Hills and get rid of Mount Rushmore. And I really hope and honestly pray that they don't do that. But I would like to get there and see Mount Rushmore someday. I
That's
know.
12 hours in one direction.
I'm aware that it is quite a drive.
I hope you are, because that is.
I actually looked it up. I was like, it can't be that far. But then I realized how far it was. That's why I didn't recommend it when we went on the trip.
long, large states you got to go through, and a lot of dead
Area.
That's also one you'd be better off to go in like the summer, because those roads are known to just get freak.
Well, and probably
like-
safer driving and easier.
Well, they get like
And they probably
freak
have stuff on the
storms.
side of the road. Like they probably have side road shows during the summer.
sure.
But maybe not so much in the winter. So, anyway, I would like to someday go there. I don't know that that would be a this year trip. I think that's a bit far.
That's a bit far.
Especially with our vehicle acting like a monster.
Or we definitely have to rent. I don't foresee us using that for anything more than like 4 hours.
Yeah.
So
So, but I don't know. Like, I mean, an educational trip would be great, but I can't really think of one. I don't want to go back to the gaming thing this year.
yeah, you mentioned gaming and Mall of America. We kind of decided those ones were out this year.
They were a lot of fun. I'm glad we did them. But I think that we're definitely at that point where somewhere else is probably wanted. And I don't think we want to go to like, well, first off, since we're talking about in the middle of winter, it's not like we can go to Mackinac.
Well, the kids are a little burnt off of Mackinac. That's they really went so
a
many
couple of them
times.
have mentioned how much they miss it this year. So, like, I think they're kind of hoping to go this summer, but because last summer was the first summer in like 3 years we hadn't gone.
Yeah.
I think it was 3. It might have been 4.
That'd be difficult to say.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
It has been a
we
while.
We haven't gone. I definitely think Fright Night in October needs to happen this year.
Yep.
We had a lot of requests for it last year. We couldn't make it happen.
Just couldn't get in P's and
There was
Q's.
something else, too much else going on. I don't know. I can't remember what it was, but there was like very specific stuff.
Well, we had football and we had.
Yeah, but there was a specific, like, I don't know if there was an event
Well,
or if it was like homecoming or
probably.
there was something on that day. And we were like, oh,
Well, I think we also just kind of forgot about it because we were talking. It's like, oh, hell.
it kind of snuck up on us.
Yeah.
It kind of snuck up on us, yeah. Because they don't do it on Halloween. It's like different.
Yeah. It fluctuates.
So, yeah. So I definitely think that we should try to make it to that. That would be a fun trip. But no, I don't know. Where do you want to go?
Don't know. DC's always fun.
And you're talking about the 12 hours that I want to go to Mount Rushmore with less people and less chaos.
I'm just throwing stuff out there.
Just saying. That's like 16 hours.
Well, I mean, if you're throwing Mount Rushmore, I'm going to throw one with warmer weather and
Not much.
so. I do want to look into, there's a local forge, so Vashman and Wild and Free Wolf are really getting into forging. Wild and Free Wolf has forged out a beautiful knife so far. She still has to grind it and put a handle on it. Vashman has burnt a lot of metal and twisted metal, and he'll get there. But Yeah, I think adding that to our curriculum this winter might be nice for them.
Well, apparently, now I don't know who does it. The ISD or somewhere else does welding, and somebody else told me they think they do like blacksmithing.
Okay.
So that's something that we can look into because there's definitely enough interest. I think you have to be over 16 or over 15 to do it. So Wild and Free Wolf couldn't, but I'm sure Vashman would share his textbooks or learning materials.
Right.
And she could pick it up. But, so there's that. And then the kids, they all want to expand their offerings. I think maybe trying to do some shows this fall, this winter.
This winter, trying to do a few more. The kids have learned that bigger shows pay out better. We went to a conference for homesteading and emergency preparedness, and they made about $600. Just under, I think it was closer to 400.
I think it was closer to
$400 at just that conference, which was quite impressive.
I mean, it was a long day. It was like 10 to 2 or 10 to 4. So it was a long day.
It was a long day, but you're talking, I mean, they made $80 an hour. So there's been a couple other conferences that have come and gone that we kind of set back, like, you know, they would have made absolute bank off of that.
But to do that, they have to get their supply up because you know, the first year we made things as we needed. The second year we spent a lot of time in the winter.
Yeah, we had like 400 jars ready to go.
Getting jars ready to go. And this year we didn't do that.
No, but we've only had like maybe 2 what I'd classify days of like jamming, like where we actually do it. The first year.
But we did have, part of that is now we've kind of mastered the process of doing double batches.
Yeah,
so we have 2 double batches at the same time, which we didn't do last year.
No.
So
we started to at the end of the year.
Last year at
the very
first year, I mean, we didn't.
Yeah, the first year we didn't.
So last year, and I wish we'd have thought of it sooner because we would do like a double batch of raspberry and a double batch of blueberry, but then you have to wash everything, you have to do a lot of extra work to process the berries and to do to make the jam, and then you have to be really careful that you don't mix it up. So this way, where we're doing a double batch of raspberry and then another double batch of raspberry, it's a lot less.
A lot more efficient that way.
Yeah, it's definitely more efficient. We end up with, you know, twice as many jars.
And like almost zero waste.
Yes, because we can, you know, what doesn't go in the first batch or first jars and doesn't fill them all up, then we can, you know, finish filling up a jar. Whereas before we'd have like a half a jar in the first batch, and then the next time we made it or the next flavor, we'd have a half a batch. Because there was a while where like we were just saving those little half jars and mixing them together, and then we'd end up with like 3 ounces of raspberry, and then on top of that we'd have 3 ounces of mixed berry, and on top of that we'd have 3 ounces of
Yep.
which made for an interesting jam.
Well, we didn't sell that one. That one we
that was
ate. Although I'm tempted to actually try that. Sell like layered jams.
I think that would be really hard to sell.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I think people would just get a kick out of like it's blueberry and raspberry.
Maybe.
Like, because I've never seen anyone do that.
That's true. That's
So.
true. That would be interesting to try. Like, see if somebody wanted. Like, we do have a lot of people who are like, "Ooh, that one sounds good and that one sounds good," but I'm only buying 1 jar today. That might be an interesting way to do it.
Little experiment to try. But that's going to take a lot of testing this winter.
That would take a lot of testing. Yeah. So, and then they want to expand to candles.
Yep.
And essential oils.
Candles and essential oils, which we got approval for.
Yep. We got approval to do, so that'll be nice.
Yep. The kids get to use a lot of stinky soaps now the rest of the summer because I think we are going to abandon the soap factory.
I don't think we should abandon it, per se, but I think we need to do something different. One, and I've noticed at the markets that nobody puts their soaps in bags. They leave that open air so it doesn't get that moisture buildup and that greasy, like. So I think one, we need to stop bagging. And two, like our fun shaped ones sold out every time.
It's true.
So I think we need to go back to, okay, we'll do seasonal shapes and that's it. Like, you know, probably if we do one of the winter bazaars, we'd want to do like
Christmas trees.
the Christmas trees and the snowflakes.
Snowflakes, yeah.
And like for summer, they sell like cute little bugs and flowers. So, you know, you might want to do bugs and flowers.
There you go.
So I think that's what we need to do, with our soaps. I think get rid of the bags that they're in and switch to like even mesh bags where there's breathing. And then
Well, and people can smell them then too.
you can smell them then. And then the fun shapes. I think the fun shapes make a huge difference because that's what we sell. Like we make a cat one and it's gone the day we make it. We make, you know, the snowflake ones, they're gone. The unicorn ones sell out. It really is just like the square ones aren't interesting.
Yeah.
So, and if you're gonna make plain square ones, people want the like rose hips and rosemary and.
They don't want frankincense. That'll
They
never
don't.
be a.
No, do not ever make frankincense soap. I don't know why
Not
the
a
kids
thing.
insisted on that one.
Well, someone bought that scent, Homeschooling Mama. I'm just saying.
Frankincense?
You bought it.
I was actually going for something else and accidentally grabbed frankincense.
Okay. Gotcha.
I think I was reaching for lavender and frankincense was like the bottom next to it, but I thought it was, and I didn't look, probably because somebody was running away with the shopping cart.
Don't know who.
Because we've had that for like 4 years now.
Yeah.
So definitely think that the soaps are okay. I just think we need to reconsider
Our offerings.
our offerings.
And then Fairy Dancer is really getting a jewelry kit going. She wants to do a bunch of jewelry. Wild and Free Wolf, the girl who can swing a 5-pound hammer like no one's business, wants to do genteel paintings of calm rain and.
But she's getting good.
Her fire one. What we need to do is we need to get that canvas and backlight it, because it was when she put up in the window and the sun was shining through it. It looked like a.
That's what she said, but you don't usually put those against a window. So
No,
that's
but
what
if you
I
get
was
some LED
exploring.
lights, you could charge twice the price and have a.
She really does
interactive.
enjoy painting.
She does.
She wants to do more tutorials. If I could remember that lady's name, I would actually give her a free plug here. But, she wants to do more tutorials, but it's like she's almost out of paint. Like she really can't do them without the paint.
No one's told Homeschooling Daddy, Weaver
Yeah,
Farmer, about
Weaver
this. 'Cause
Farmer. Yeah, we have to
We
get
were
her-
at the place where we could have
I
bought.
know, and Savannah actually mentioned, Swedish Compass actually mentioned that.
I'm gonna get
today.
you. I'll get you the chart. I'll get the chart next time.
Our older daughter mentioned that today when we got home. Was that we needed paints, but when we were there, it didn't. I like totally forgot. So.
Yeah, nothing better than for my middle daughter. I have to go to the hardware store to get steel, and then to the Hobby Lobby to get genteel
Yeah, but your
paints.
younger daughter is like, okay, Dad, we need nails to put my dollhouse together, but then I need curtains and.
Yes, but her dollhouse is a very genteel.
It's
it's-
huge.
Yeah, but it's not. She's not swinging a 5-pound roofing hammer to put it together.
Valid.
I had to buy mini saws and mini hammers and mini clamps. Although she keeps stealing my clamps.
I know, she really likes those clamps. She's mastered their use.
For her birthday, I guess we need to get her, or either get her a set or get Dad a set. And,
Get her a pink set.
right? If they sold them.
And a glue gun, apparently.
Didn't we buy her one?
I don't think we did. We were going
Yeah, I
to
thought we were
because
going to.
it had glitter sticks, and we were like, well, no. I don't think we actually got it.
I think we should buy those and then hold them as ransom until she gets her room cleaned. and
Right.
Her crafting center cleaned.
Oh my god.
I don't know if I shared it here. It's kind of fun. She's got a crafting center in her room. Dad built it. And I got this beautiful white countertop. And the only reason it's white is because it was dirt cheap.
Yeah.
So I kind of knew that as a crafter, she'd probably stain it. Well, it was really funny. You know, I build it, and she loved the white, and she's like, I can't wait to get some stains on this and stain this up. I was like, perfect. So I'm helping her with her dollhouse, and I am not the cleanest person when I do projects. So I got some glue on it, and she about lost her shit. Went and got a scrubber and some bleach and cleaning products because no, I don't want this stain though. You don't understand. Like, she keeps that surface stain free, which is impressive being so white, and
But the rest of her room.
the rest of her room is destroyed. But yeah, I got a kick out of that the first day we were working. She was all gung ho in theory to put stains up and down that white countertop. I'm pretty sure when she moves out, that thing's still gonna be pristine white.
Oh, I think she'll give up on that.
I don't. You weren't in there. You weren't in there because glue you can just scrape right off. Like, it's not gonna stain. But she was worried it might give it an off yellow stain on there. She was not having that. That was not acceptable.
Well, yeah. I think experiential stuff this year, though, letting them play with their different crafts and activities and stuff they want to do, forging and stuff like that. I think forging will probably be a really big hit this fall when the temperature drops just enough that running the forge is not.
Well, I've got to look into it to see how safe it is to run it in my garage.
Yeah.
Like, can we actually?
Well, you run it through September, October, and even into a little bit November, you'll be fine outside. And that's about their attention span. 3
Yeah.
months of doing the same thing, and then they're usually ready to take a break for a few months and then come back to it.
Yeah.
So I think that would be good, and then move to the indoor stuff. Bashman does like to use the lathe. He just needs to actually his problem is he doesn't seem to understand the beginning, middle, end. Like he
Even the
doesn't-
middle's pretty shaky. Like,
Yeah, he doesn't want to finish a project, and I think it's not that he doesn't want to. I think he's not sure how, and he's afraid to ruin the beginning and the middle that he's worked on. And most of the stuff he does, I don't know how to finish. So.
well, he needs to actually get a project in mind. Right now, he just wants to
that's
shape stuff.
Yeah, and that's okay to just kind of play with it and
Get a feel for the tools.
yeah. I think what he needs is patterns. I think if he had a pattern or here's what your end goal is, he'd probably do great.
Yeah, the sad part is we probably have to upgrade the lathe,
Mm-hmm.
which we do have one. I just have to refurbish it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so but I think a lot of that physical, hands-on stuff that they enjoy will be our focus through the fall and winter.
So what you're saying is we need a storage container so that we can still keep our cars in the garage, but not get them filled with sawdust or
No.
metal
I
shavings.
really
or...
think forging needs to happen in the driveway. So I think November, whenever the first snow hits, forging is over.
No, I think that can happen indoors, but again, we just have to have the right setup because people forge indoors all the time. That is a thing.
Yeah, I know that we don't.
But I can look into a storage container if that's what you're saying.
No,
I mean, they're
no.
fireproof.
That's okay. I don't want a storage container. Unless
It
it's
would
for
look-
goats.
It would look
I'm not
great
getting-
dropped right out front there,
Unless it's for goats.
right
I'm
by
not
the
getting
ship
it.
mound will be.
Okay. So, but I think that those physical things are what they're going to want. Focused on this winter, though. And I can't think of a trip location. I
Okay.
mean, there's a lot of fun places to go, but I think going someplace new was I think last year going to Mall of America and Milwaukee was a better experience because we had never been there. So I'd be reluctant
Well,
to go to.
Sadly, due to the size of our state, to get to another state will be.
No, but there are other places in our state we haven't gone to.
Yeah.
Like I think like we've gone to the Grand Rapids Museum and stuff multiple times. I think as much fun as it is, and it's an awesome place to go, I think someplace new would be better. Now whether that's like a Legoland or whatever. There is a Medieval Knights within like 300 miles.
There you go.
That would be an experience. But that's a one-time thing. Like you go, you have dinner, you don't really like... You'd have to find other places to your things to do in that
Yeah,
area.
well, I'm sure we'll find something.
Because that would be fun, but that's not really a... And
We'll
last
go down
time...
to D-Town and get carjacked. That'd be a fun experience.
No.
I forgot to hook the hose up again. Damn it.
Well, fortunately, it's been cool, milder weather today.
Yes, but it still needs watering. Well, anyway, folks, I think we're kind of winding down here. I think I'm going to go finish the rest of my, let's see if I get this time, my glued cigar. Oh, see there, now it's focusing in. My glued cigar.
I think the sun was just too...
Right there, look at that, yeah. See, it's got a big old crack in the cap. But my Father's Day gift, thank you for that.
I'm glad you picked it up.
Yeah, right. Did not affect the flavor at all. My lips aren't getting stuck to it, so...
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I highly recommend it if you like smoking cigars or you know a cigar smoker. Seems kind of dumb, but that little tube of cigar glue
It looks like nail polish.
pretty much is. It's, I think, glycerin, or no, it's not glycerin, starch or something.
Is it cigar?
Yeah, it's got some...
It says shake vigorously.
Yeah, I did. I think it actually says what's in there.
It just says natural food grade product. It
Yeah,
actually doesn't
it's
say.
all edible. You can paint your tongue with it. But anyway, folks, I'm going to go enjoy my cigar, finish off my beer.
I wonder if it's what they use on crayons.
My wife's probably going to hide inside away from the bugs and dropping temperature.
It is getting chilly.
Anyway, folks, hope you're having a good one out there. Stay safe. See you on the next one.